The first sign that humanity was no longer alone did not come with explosions or fire from the sky. It came with silence. Satellites stopped responding. Deep space observatories went dark. Civilian broadcasts flickered and then synchronized across every continent as a single unknown signal overpowered Earth's communication grid. With terrifying ease, within seconds, every screen, phones, televisions, military monitors, even billboards shifted to the same image, a vast golden emblem, suspended against a field of stars. Then the voice came, calm and impossibly ancient, resonating in every language at once. People of Earth, you stand before the sovereign dominion of our alien. Surrender now, and you will be preserved. The words were not shouted. They did not need to be. They carried the weight of absolute certainty. Panic spread quickly, but not chaotically. World governments scrambled to verify what their citizens were already seeing. Telescopes turned outward, and what they found drained the color from every leader's face. The sky was no longer empty. Thousands of alien warships hung in precise formation beyond the moon, their metallic hulls reflecting sunlight and geometric perfection. Energy readings from even the smallest vessel dwarfed humanity's most powerful reactors. It was not an invasion fleet, it was an empire. A second transmission followed, directed specifically to Earth's governments. Your species has been observed for 312 of your cycles. You are innovative, adaptable, and violent. These traits make you suitable for labor integration. Resist, and your biosphere will be cleansed. Comply, and your species will endure. They even provided coordinates for formal surrender. The Empire had scheduled humanity's submission as if it were a routine administrative procedure. In emergency summits across the globe, leaders argued in underground bunkers and orbital stations. Military analysts ran simulations that ended in overwhelming defeat within hours. The alien fleet's numbers were incomprehensible. Their technology operated on principles humanity barely theorized. Surrender seemed rational, survival often required compromise. But there was a word in the alien message that changed everything. Labor. Not a lie. Not protectorate. Labor. Slavery wrapped in sterile language. And as debates raged in chambers, built for politics, something unexpected began to happen outside of them. Nations that had distrusted each other for generations opened secure channels and began sharing everything: defense protocols, experimental weapons research, black budget, space projects long denied to the public. Old rivalries felt small compared to extinction. When the final global vote was taken, it was not unanimous because leaders trusted each other. It was unanimous because none of them could face history as the generation that surrendered. Humanity's freedom without a fight. The reply was not transmitted from a single capital. It was broadcast from every corner of Earth simultaneously, amplified through civilian satellites, military rays, and private transmitters. The message was simple. To the sovereign dominion of our alien, we decline. There were no threats, no insults, just refusal. The Empire responded immediately. A single cruiser detached from the alien formation and drifted into firing position. Above the Pacific Ocean, energy gathered along its spine, forming a spear of white light that promised annihilation. On Earth, evacuation protocols activated, though everyone knew they would not outrun a planetary strike. And then something unexpected happened. From the shadow of the moon, thousands of small objects erupted outward in a coordinated swarm. They had been hidden for decades within lunar regolith, disguised as mining equipment and research stations. Autonomous defense drones, cheap compared to alien warships, inelegant, but numerous, accelerated toward the cruiser at impossible speeds. They struck in waves, detonating against its shields in relentless succession. The alien beam faltered, destabilized by the unexpected assault humanity had prepared. Not publicly, not perfectly, but quietly. For years, factions within space agencies and defense departments have pushed contingency plans for extraterrors. Trial threats, often mocked as paranoid or wasteful. Project Aegis had been one such effort, a decentralized orbital defense network, embedded into civilian infrastructure. It had never been tested in real combat. Now it roared to life. Railgun platforms hidden in orbit unleashed tungsten projectiles at fractions of light speed. Laser arrays designed for asteroid defense recalibrated to maximum output. Submarines launched experimental missiles guided by AI systems sharing data in real time across a unified global network. Individually, none of these weapons could rival Imperial technology. Together, they became a storm the cruiser had not anticipated. The alien ship shields shimmered violently under the barrage. Adaptation protocols engaged, but humanity adapted faster. Engineers on Earth adjusted frequencies mid-attack. Scientists streamed live calculations to military command. and independent programmers fed optimization algorithms into targeting systems. The cruiser's defenses overloaded. For a single suspended heartbeat, it hung intact above the Pacific. Then its hull fractured, and it exploded in a bloom of white fire visible from coastlines thousands of miles apart. Debris burned across the atmosphere like falling stars. Humanity had just destroyed its first alien warship. On the Imperial flagship, Overseer Talbot recalculated projections with rising unease. The models had predicted fragmentation, panic, surrender. Instead, resistance was accelerating. Earth's transmissions were no longer chaotic. They were synchronized. Military and civilian networks operated as one organism. The Empire escalated, dispatching 3 destroyers to crush what they now classified as organized defiance. The battle that followed stretched across cislunar space and into the orbit of Mars. Humanity committed everything: experimental warships, retrofitted cargo vessels, volunteer crews piloting ships never meant for combat. Losses were devastating. Alien weapons sliced through hulls with surgical precision. But for every ship destroyed, humans adapted tactics, exploited microseconds of shield delay, coordinated multi-vector assaults that forced even Imperial commanders to acknowledge the growing cost. The war did not last hours as predicted. It lasted days, then weeks of skirmishes. Every encounter hardened humanity's resolve. Civilian industries converted to war production at unprecedented speed. Rival nations stopped counting who contributed more and focused instead on survival. The alien destroyers were eventually forced into retreat after sustaining damage beyond acceptable thresholds. For the first time in centuries, the Sovereign Dominion encountered a species that did not collapse under overwhelming superiority. In a tense council session, Imperial leaders weighed options. Planetary cleansing remained possible, but not without significant fleet losses. And something else troubled them: potential. Humanity was young, technologically inferior, yet capable of rapid adaptation bordering on unpredictability. If allowed to survive, they would grow stronger. But destroying them would require total war, and total war carried risks the Empire had not faced in generations. The final transmission to Earth carried none of the earlier arrogance. Species 731, your resistance has been recorded. The Sovereign Dominion will reevaluate your classification. You remain under observation. Then the fleet withdrew, vanishing into faster-than-light carters and leaving behind a scarred but unbroken planet. There was no immediate celebration on Earth. Cities lay damaged. Thousands were dead. Orbital debris glittered as a reminder of the cost. But the planet still turned freely in the void. Humanity had been given a choice between survival in chains and resistance and uncertainty. They had chosen the latter. And in doing so, they had revealed something the Galactic Empire had fatally underestimated: humans might be divided in peace, argumentative in politics, and flawed in countless ways. But when confronted with extinction and enslavement, they did not kneel. They unified, and that unity transformed a fragile species into something far more dangerous than the Empire had predicted. The next time the stars darkened with alien ships, humanity would not just be defending. They would be ready to send a message of their own. This channel brings you powerful HFY humanity. Sci-fi stories where humans refuse to surrender. Alien empires face unexpected resistance. And the galaxy learns why Earth should never be underestimated. If you love epic space, battles, emotional storytelling, and unstoppable human spirit, you're in the right place.